Hello everyone. Today we are going to continue our chapter, that is the invention of shoes. As we can see in this picture, the king is very much disappointed, or he felt very sad. So the reason is that whenever he steps into the ground, his royal feet got dirt. So he wanted to solve this problem. He appointed the minister, and the minister gathered all the learned men, the nobles, and the scientists of that particular kingdom, and all were sitting together to find a solution for this royal problem. And now the king decided that he will find a tanner, or the tanner means the people who make leather is known as tanners. So the king decided to cover the whole earth with a leather. So he asked the minister to find a good tanner in order to solve this problem. For now, we will continue the lesson that everyone bowed to the king. What a brilliant idea, your royal highness, they said. It is only a question of finding a tanner good enough. And now all said, the people, the leaders, they said that it is a very good, brilliant idea that to cover the whole earth with a blanket that is made up of leather. So they said it is a question of it is a matter of finding a good tanner to solve this problem. So we'll continue. The royal emissaries set off in every which way. Everyone stopped what they were doing and rushed out to look for a tanner good enough. Where could they find such a tanner? And where could they find so much leather? At last, the chief tanner of the kingdom presented himself at the royal court. He was an old man. He bowed to the king and smiled a little and said, "If your royal highness permits, I have a suggestion to make. It might fulfill your wish in a simple yet effective way." Now, the royal emissaries means the messengers or representatives. The representatives or messengers of the king, they began their journey to find a good tanner. So they went all the way, and everyone were in search of this good tanner. So at the end, the chief tanner of that particular kingdom presented himself in front of the court, and he was an old man. He was a old man. He came in front of the king and bowed. Bowed means to bend oneself in front of another person in order to show the respect. So he bent himself in front of the king in order to show the respect. And after that he said, if the king permits him, he has a suggestion. He has a suggestion to make, to tell the king in order to solve this royal problem. So he said it will be his suggestion would be fulfill his problem, and also it will be an effective way. Effective means effective in a way that works well. Something effective gets the job done. That is, it will be a simple way, and it will be solve that particular problem. Then you may make your suggestion, said the king. And the king said, You can say your suggestion. "Cover the royal feet, your royal highness," said the old tanner. "Then you shall not have to cover the whole earth." And the chief tanner said, "Enough to cover the royal feet, enough to cover the feet of our king, so that the king the king doesn't want to cover the whole earth, enough to cover his feet." So it was the suggestion. The reply was that, "If it was all that easy to solve the problem," said the king, "would everyone in the kingdom have lost their sleep over it?" And the king said, "And if it is the solution to solve this problem, then the whole kingdom, that is all the people of this kingdom, was so much worried or so much thinking about it, and they were not even able to sleep at the night. They were always thinking about how to solve this royal problem." So lost their sleep over it means being extremely worried about it. So all the people, they were extremely worried about this royal problem, how to solve it. They were always thinking about it. "Arrest the fellow," said the Goburai, "and throw him into the jail." And now, by hearing this, our minister Goburai said, to arrest the chief tanner and throw him into the jail. That was the response of the minister. But already the old tanner was deep at work, sitting down at the king's feet. He had been measuring and cutting, stitching and fitting. And now, while the chief tanner was speaking, he was also in a work. He was just sitting down at the feet of the king, and he had been measuring the feet of the king, and he was cutting and stitching and fitting it. Before the king could decide whether to throw him into jail or to forgive him, he had finished a neat pair of shoes and presented it to His Royal Highness. Now, before the king orders whether to leave or to forgive him, to forgive to this our chief tanner, or to throw him into the jail, before the announcement or order comes, before deciding by this king, what happened? The tanner made a pair of shoes and given to our Royal Highness, given to our king. King Hobu put on the shoes. They fit him perfectly. His royal feet felt warm and snug, and most importantly, clean. And snug means well protected and comfortable. Now, what happened? The king wore that particular shoes, and it was perfectly fit for him, and the king's feet felt warm and snug. Snug means, as we already discussed, well protected and comfortable, and the king felt very comfort and well protected after wearing that particular shoe. The minister spared the old tanner. He said, "I had the same idea myself. Some way or other, the fellow must have got hold of my idea." And now, But when the minister said that the same idea which the tanner has done, making of shoes, the same idea once came in the mind of our minister also. So he said, somehow the tanner also got the same idea which was who was having, which the minister also was having it. And so from that day began the use of shoes. The royal feet were saved, so was Gobu, and so was the earth. And now that this is how the people started to use the shoes. That is the invention of shoes. And now that is they said that the royal feet were saved. The king's feet was saved from dust, and also the Gobu, the minister, also saved by because of our tanner made these shoes. Otherwise, if the minister was not able to solve this problem, all would have been punished by the king. So nothing happened because of the idea of our tanner. The problem was solved and all were saved